During the golden era of endurance racing in the 1950s and 1960s, few events carried as much prestige and promise as the 24 Hours of Le Mans. It wasn't merely a race. It was an arena where automakers showcased engineering excellence, proving that victories on the tarmac could translate into dominance in the showroom. For Chevrolet's visionary chief engineer Zora Arkus-Duntov, the man often credited as the father of the Corvette, this challenge became a personal crusade. By 1962, Duntov's ambition had crystallized into a bold idea: build a limited run of 125 ultralight, race-bred Corvettes designed to crush the competition in the GT class at Le Mans. The project was codenamed Lightweight, a fitting title for what was intended to be a stripped-down, purpose-built machine focused entirely on speed, balance, and endurance. When Chevrolet's marketing department eventually stepped in, the cars received a name that would echo through motorsport history: Grand Sport. 5 prototypes were hand-built, each one representing the pinnacle of American racing ingenuity. These cars were lighter, faster, and far more advanced than anything coming off the production line. But corporate politics at General Motors soon intervened. As GM had officially withdrawn from racing, the higher-ups quickly shut down the Grand Sport project and ordered the cars destroyed. Duntov, however, was not a man easily deterred. Knowing what these machines represented, he secretly saved the first 2 cars and discreetly sent chassis numbers 003, 004, and 005 to Texas, into the hands of privateer racer and oil magnate John Meckham. Meckham, in turn, sold them to fellow Texan enthusiasts Alan Savagian, Delmo Johnson, and the legendary Jim Hall of Chaparral fame. These men carried the Corvette Grand Sport banner into battle against Europe's finest machinery. At the 1965 Sebring 12 Hours, Delmo Johnson piloted Grand Sport number 003 in his final international race, with Duntov himself personally providing the team the very first big block racing engine ever released from the Chevrolet factory. It was an act that symbolized Duntov's defiance, passion, and belief in the Corvette's potential as a world-class racing car. Today, that same spirit lives on in one of the most spectacular continuation cars ever built, the Superformance Corvette Grand Sport, officially authorized and approved by GM. Each of these meticulously crafted machines carries the DNA of Duntov's original vision, combining 1960s race car aesthetics with modern engineering refinement. Chassis CGS 0014 is a striking example of this heritage, dressed in a deep ebony finish complemented by crisp white pinstripes that accentuate its aggressive, muscular stance. Beneath its sculpted fiberglass skin lies an all-aluminum Dart 377 cubic inch small-block Chevy V8, pushing a ferocious 550 horsepower through a slick Tremec 6-speed manual transmission. This powertrain delivers a thrilling blend of old-school rawness and modern precision, producing the kind of visceral driving experience that few modern sports cars can replicate. Inside, the cockpit retains the spirit of a race machine, yet indulges in modern comfort. Black leather upholstery wraps around bucket seats that cradle the driver, while air conditioning and power windows add a touch of everyday civility to what is otherwise a purebred racer. The magnesium wheels, a nod to the lightweight ethos of the original, are wrapped in sticky Avon tires for maximum grip, while black ceramic-coated side pipes deliver a deep, throaty soundtrack that could make any enthusiast's heart race. Titled as a 1963 SPRF Corvette, CGS 0014 represents a bridge between 2 worlds: the romantic past of American motorsport and the performance standards of the modern age. With just 590 miles on the odometer, it's virtually brand new. A race car reborn for the road, built not just to be admired, but to be driven. Whether picked up directly in southern Florida or delivered to its next owner, its asking price of $279,950 seems almost modest when one considers the legacy, craftsmanship, and unfiltered excitement it offers. For collectors and drivers alike, the Superformance Grand Sport isn't just a tribute to Duntov's dream. It's proof that some legends never fade. They simply evolve, ready to roar again on any stretch of open road that dares to recall Le Mans' glory. To truly appreciate what the Superformance Grand Sport represents, one must step back and consider the sheer audacity of its origins. In the early 1960s, American performance engineering was still maturing, and the Corvette, while fast and stylish, wasn't yet taken seriously by the European racing elite. Duntov aimed to change that narrative. He wanted a Corvette that could stare down a Ferrari GTO or Jaguar E-Type and not just keep up, but dominate. The original Grand Sport was designed around this idea, shedding unnecessary weight, reinforcing structural rigidity, and outfitting the car with an arsenal of cutting-edge parts that blurred the line between production car and prototype racer. Each Grand Sport was essentially hand-built, featuring thin fiberglass body panels to reduce weight, tubular steel chassis improvements for greater stiffness, and engines tuned for maximum output. While the official plan called for 125 cars to meet FIA homologation standards, only 5 were ever completed before GM's top brass intervened. Those 5 cars instantly became legends, mythical machines that embodied the what could have been of American racing history. They were faster than almost anything else on the track, capable of hitting 180 miles per hour on long straights, and handling with an agility that shocked competitors who underestimated American engineering. The story might have ended there, buried under the bureaucracy of corporate caution, but Duntov's rebellious spirit ensured it didn't. The handful of surviving originals became icons, traded among racers and collectors who understood their significance. Over the decades, the Grand Sport's mystique only grew, inspiring countless enthusiasts to dream of owning one. The problem was, unless you were willing to pay millions and track down one of the 5 originals, that dream remained just out of reach. That's where Superformance stepped in. With GM's official blessing, they embarked on a mission to revive the Grand Sport for a new generation. But this wasn't just a cosmetic homage. It was a meticulous recreation, crafted to the exacting standards of the original while subtly integrating modern technology for reliability and performance. The attention to detail is astonishing. Every curve of the body, every vent, every proportion faithfully mirrors the 1963 originals. Yet underneath lies a chassis and powertrain that deliver contemporary drivability and comfort, making this Grand Sport both a track weapon and a road-legal masterpiece. CGS0014 in particular stands as one of the finest examples of this modern revival. Its gleaming ebony paint seems to shift hues under the light, accentuating the Corvette's iconic lines and muscular haunches. The low, wide stance exudes power and purpose, while the white pinstripes harken back to the livery of the original racing machines that battled in Nassau and Sebring. Every element of the design feels deliberate. The aggressive side pipes, the flared wheel arches, the bold nose, all reminders of a time when racing cars were crafted with passion and instinct, not algorithms and wind tunnels. Behind the wheel, the experience is nothing short of intoxicating. The 377 cubic inch Dart V8 fires to life with a sharp bark, settling into a rhythmic, chest-thumping idle that fills the cabin with mechanical symphony. The Tremec 6-speed transmission engages with precision, allowing the driver to harness every ounce of the 550 horsepower waiting underfoot. There's no traction control, no drive modes, no digital filters between man and machine, just raw, unfiltered performance. The steering is heavy but communicative, the brakes firm and confident, and every input feels alive, demanding and rewarding equal measure of skill and respect. Yet despite its rawness, CGS0014 isn't a punishing car. Superformance understood that today's enthusiasts wanted more than just a museum piece. They wanted something they could truly drive. The inclusion of air conditioning, power windows, and high-quality leather seats transforms what could have been a track-only relic into a surprisingly livable machine. It's a race car that doesn't just survive the road. It thrives on it. At $279,950, this continuation Grand Sport isn't a casual purchase. It's an investment in a legacy, one that connects its owner directly to one of the most compelling chapters in American motorsport. For those who understand the story of Zora Arkus-Duntov and his defiance against corporate limits, owning a Superformance Grand Sport is more than buying a car. It's preserving a dream that refused to die. Every detail of CGS0014 whispers of history, from the roar of its V8 to the subtle gleam of its magnesium wheels. It embodies the courage of engineers who refused to settle for mediocrity, the thrill of racers who risked everything at Sebring, and the eternal allure of the Corvette name. The Superformance Grand Sport isn't just a continuation car. It's the resurrection of an American legend, a time capsule that bridges 1963 and today, carrying forward the heartbeat of Le Mans, Sebring, and the open road. In an age when cars are becoming quieter, smarter, and more digital, this machine stands as a glorious rebellion. It celebrates the era when racing was visceral, when victories were won by grit and guts, not algorithms. The Grand Sport story, from Duntov's secret defiance to Superformance's masterful revival, reminds us why we fell in love with cars in the first place. It's not just about speed or style, but about the unyielding human desire to push boundaries and create something extraordinary. And for those lucky enough to own CGS0014, every start of the engine isn't just ignition. It's history awakening once more. Owning a car like the Superformance Grand Sport CGS0014 isn't merely about possessing a beautiful piece of machinery. It's about embracing an entire philosophy of performance, heritage, and craftsmanship. Every curve of its body and every mechanical pulse of its engine speaks of a bygone era when cars were built to stir the soul. It stands as a living tribute to the ingenuity of Zora Arkus-Duntov and the audacious spirit that defined American motorsport in the 1960s. The continuation Grand Sport captures that magic perfectly, blending authenticity with refinement. It feels alive, breathing through its side pipes, eager to devour miles of open road, just as its ancestors devoured laps at Sebring. When you grip the steering wheel, you're not just driving, you're reliving a piece of racing history that was nearly lost to time. Every downshift echoes with the defiance of Duntov's original dream. Every acceleration feels like a salute to the fearless men who piloted these machines against impossible odds. In today's world of computerized precision and silent electric powertrains, the Superformance Grand Sport is a raw, mechanical symphony, unapologetically loud, unfiltered, and utterly captivating. It's the kind of car that reminds enthusiasts why driving is more than transportation. It's passion in motion. With only 590 miles on its odometer, CGS0014 stands ready to write the next chapter of its journey, inviting its next caretaker to experience the thrill of American racing glory reborn. For collectors, it's a masterpiece. For drivers, it's an awakening. And for anyone who understands what it means to chase perfection on four wheels, this car isn't just a continuation. It's a resurrection of a dream that never stopped roaring.